What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know, including the return of Sting and could we finally get Undertaker vs Sting at Wrestlemania, SmackDown ratings go up, Kelly returning to the ring, an update on their revival and where they're going, Amazon to purchase WWE streaming rights, is EC3 all elite, the IIconics get pulled from television, and Chris Jericho's digital disrespect. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. But let's waste no further time and get straight into our first story. So we're finally getting Sting versus The Undertaker. It's been almost 5 years since WWE Hall of Famer Sting competed in the ring, as his last appearance was at 2015's Night of Champions pay-per-view against Seth Rollins, with the Stinger having retired in 2016. However, TalkSport's Alex McCarthy is reporting that the former franchise player of WCW is cleared to wrestle after years of reports a neck injury had made an in-ring return impossible. McCarthy notes, rumors are running rampant that the WCW icon has been medically cleared to have another WWE match, and it's believed that that match will be The Undertaker. Sting has made no secret of his desire to have that dream match, and it was really why he signed with WWE at all many years ago. If you're a regular Wrestlelamia viewer, you'll recall our story recounting Sting's discussion with Sports Illustrated, where he mentioned he would work Wrestlemania if the match was against the Phenom The Undertaker. While a Sting vs Undertaker match could have been viable even 5 years ago, fans are still trying to unsee the dreadful Undertaker vs Goldberg match from 2019's Super Showdown event. Although Sting's in-ring skills are better than Goldberg's, he hasn't wrestled in years and fans are justified in wondering how the match could work out. While the WWE could go the Extreme Rules 2019 route and put the two into a tag team with two younger opponents, much as the WWE did by pairing The Undertaker and Roman Reigns against Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre, the match would lose some of its allure compared to a one-on-one encounter. Nonetheless, a good tag match is better than an atrocious singles match. What do you guys think? Would you still be interested in this dream match happening? Is it far too late? Should they instead have a tag team match? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, SmackDown's ratings go up. It looks like Goldberg's, appearance on the 7th February edition of SmackDown helped the Blue brand's ratings. Paul Fontaine of the Wrestling Observer Figure 4 Online is reporting that SmackDown on Fox averaged 2.547 million viewers, up 8% from last week. The show opened up with 2.555 million viewers in hour 1 and held its audience better than most weeks, staying virtually the same at 2.539 million viewers for the second hour. The good news here is that the second hour stayed close to the first hour, unlike past editions. Both SmackDown and Raw traditionally have trouble keeping their initial audience, but it's worth noting that SmackDown's usually strong demographic were down in the 18 to 34 demographic, and SmackDown fell 10% for a 0.45 rating. This is likely due to the Democratic presidential candidate debate, but nonetheless SmackDown did perform well in the 18 to 48 demographic, which was up 7% to a 0.75. SmackDown beat everything on network television except for the debate coverage in the demos. In addition to Goldberg's return, the Blue brand featured another trip down memory lane as The Miz and John Morrison reunited for an edition of The Dirt Sheet. The WWE would be wise to cash on fan nostalgia as they need to do whatever they can to solidify the ratings. Next up, WWE's new hire featured on CNN. Many congratulations to Aja Pereira, the first African-American female referee in the WWE. Pereira's signing caught the attention of CNN, and an ecstatic Aja tweeted, "A year ago my life was falling apart. I was at my lowest, and I was about to give up on myself. This morning I wake up to discover I'm featured on CNN. Continue to fight. Bet on yourself because life can change in an instant. I'm so blessed. Who's excited for this journey?" We're happy to see another success story in wrestling and hope Aja's story encourages others to pursue their dreams. Next up, is Kelly returning? The 2020 Royal Rumble featured some surprise returns including MVP, Mighty Molly Holly, and lest we forget, the rated R superstar Edge. It also saw the return of the delightful diva Kelly, and according to America's oldest horn dog Jerry the King Lawler, Kelly may be returning to her former home. During a recent episode of his podcast, the King explained, "I got a chance to talk to Kelly before the match for a long time. She's doing great, and from what I understand, we may be seeing more of her. She may be coming back on a semi-regular basis." Kelly, a former Divas champion and 24/7 champion, is just 33 years old and could wrestle, manage, or serve as an on-air personality. Next up, an update on the Revival and where they're headed. And despite large amounts of cash being thrown their way, the Revival appear to be headed to AEW when their WWE contracts run down after WrestleMania 36. According to Wrestling News CEOs Paul Davis, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson are more interested in competition than a large paycheck, with the source telling him, if Vince had kept his promise to more time and effort into tag teams, then maybe they would have stayed. But look at what they're doing with Gallows and Anderson. They aren't looking for leverage, they are not happy here. Despite Booker T's suggestion that the Revival take the big payday, the dynamic duo seem intent on showcasing their skills in a promotion where tag team wrestling is more than a sideshow act. Next up, Amazon to purchase WWE or their streaming rights. Yeah, you've heard the rumors of WWE potentially selling the rights to its pay-per-view events to streaming services, and even the rumor that Amazon's Jeff Bezos was interested in purchasing the WWE. There's no doubt the WWE has branded content with a built-in audience, something financial analyst Lauren Needham recently commented on. "We believe that such a licensing deal would put Amazon in the best spot to purchase all of WWE whenever the family is ready to exit. WWE's live programming is highly differentiated, and its Raw, SmackDown and NXT brands are worth more than being any one of 500 series that have no built-in audience or brand." As exciting as that possibility may be, Dave Meltzer like a snow cone on a hot day. Meltzer brought the possible sale up and said it's not happening. During an episode of the Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer nixed the idea of Amazon buying any streaming rights to WWE content, such as pay-per-views, the WWE Network, or the WWE in its entirety. Nonetheless, the Sporting News' Stephen Muehlhausen, sorry if we pronounced that wrong, tweeted, "Source: Jeff Bezos of Amazon has expressed interest in purchasing the WWE streaming rights to their major pay-per-view events." With rumors persisting the WWE could license its pay-per-views or select shows such as the Big Four of WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series and the Royal Rumble, it does raise the question of what will happen to the WWE's network content, pricing and even its future survival. We'll be sure to keep you fully updated on this situation. Next up, is EC3 All Elite? Could fans be seeing a future graphic saying EC3 is All Elite? While it's too early to say, EC3 is currently recovering from a concussion and under contract to the WWE, but the former Impact Grand Champion and TNA World Heavyweight Champion was seen with Chris Jericho. Jericho posted a picture of him and EC3 on Instagram with the following comment: "Great chat with the real EC3 tonight in Orlando. Big things coming in the future for this talented brother." He also tagged in All Elite Wrestling. EC3 responded with "Great advice, great show." It's possible that EC3 could either negotiate his release from the WWE or see the company release him outright, as they haven't even been using him, injury or otherwise. This would seem to go against the WWE's current policy of not releasing wrestlers, but that could change given the WWE's shaky stock situation. Next up, the IIconics pulled from television. Although the women's division has several good teams, it's been a mess of late, with fans wondering why the tag team titles aren't defended more often and where some of the division's best tag teams are, including former women's tag team champions the IIconics. Dave Meltzer like Butter Meltzer recently tweeted on Billie Kay and Peyton Royce's whereabouts, saying, "I've asked about them a few weeks ago. A decision was made to take them off television, maybe repackaging, but the idea was that they'd be back. While it's obvious the awesome Australians will be back, the real question is why the women's tag team division is such a mess. We've repeatedly addressed the woeful state of the WWE's Women's Tag Team Championship division, and as you've probably heard recently, the WWE had Sasha Banks and Bayley drop their tag team titles at WrestleMania 35 to the IIconics, as the WWE was working to have the Bella Twins feud with the IIconics. That didn't happen as Nikki discovered her past neck issues prevented her from returning to the ring. The tag team titles then languished before Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross teamed to win them, only to drop them to the Kabuki Warriors, who rarely defend the titles. The WWE has several single stars who could be pairing up into tag teams, but it's clear the WWE doesn't care about its tag team division at all. They missed a big opportunity when it failed to deliver on its promise to have the tag belts defended on Raw, SmackDown and NXT, which boasts a strong women's division. Just another reminder of the promotion's broken promises. And our final story, Chris Jericho's digital disrespect. In what either had to be a weak attempt to rile AEW fans or a classic case of sheer ignorance, a Twitter user posted the following: "It's easy to sell out shows in those small market arenas. The big cities don't care about AEW." Le Champion sounded off with a sarcastic smackdown saying, "You're right. For example, the New York City, New Jersey market is a tiny, minuscule market. Thank goodness for these tiny villages that keep our doomed company on life support. Can you get me a job when we go out of business in 5 years, please?" While we aren't surprised at the ignorance of some people online, it continues to baffle us why wrestlers give trolls the satisfaction of a response. But there you have it, guys, the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.